Real shit only. Let me talk to these niggas, see? Somebody got said. Shit. You niggas run to IG for inspiration, cause your immediate circle ain't good for shit but hating. How you hustling just to get complacent?
And when did you realize, like, we arrived?
Making the playoffs the first year, getting to the second round was great. Losing game 7 the next year was great. We really arrived when Steph dropped CP. If my math serves me correctly, that might have been after we won the first championship. That might have been 2016. But I still feel like that's when we really arrived. Because even after we won the first championship, everybody was like, yo, that's luck.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was just like...
You know what I'm saying? That's luck. They played all the hurt teams, blah, blah, that's this, that's that.
Yeah.
When Steph dropped CP, I think at that point, we were like 9-0, 9-1, no, 9-0 or something like that. And that was just like, to me, that boom, boom.
Killed.
And he hit that. That was like, because you got to understand, like, at that time, like what was going on during the time. During the time, them and us is B. I hated CP. He hated me, and him and Steph had a relationship, but I felt like, and CP smart as a motherfucker. One of the smartest dudes I've ever been around. I felt like C was using his relationship with Steph to kind of keep him big bro. Like, you little bro, stay right here. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, we had him.
Right.
We had all of them. And so that's kind of the type of time that I was on. I was actually not playing that game. If you go back and look, I'm in a blazer. He dropped CP, boom, boom, hit the shot. I get up off the bench. And that's when I still feel, because again, you have to remember, at that time, CP is like, CP's first ballot Hall of Famer still like that. But, CP's first ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer still a giant, titan. But at that time, we trying to come up. And so at that time, we looking at CP like, all right, we got to get there. You know what I'm saying? Steph got to get there. Blake Griffin, I got to get there. Like, that's how we looking at this.
Right.
And he dropped CP, and it's like, yeah, all right, we here now.
It's crazy that you brought that up, because I didn't even think about this for my line of questioning tonight, but like now that you're saying that, because people don't realize the teams that were rivals to us are not here. Like, they're three. Like, far as NBA teams, they're 3 generations removed from those teams, right? None of the same players, none of that. And something that was epic at that time was the Donald Sterling controversy.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, like, you know, in this life, in this basketball or sports, you know, just life in general, and you go down your path and you don't know what you're going to encounter, right? And so some people look at this as like, you know, a part of history, like even a part of Black history, right? Because the things he said was despicable. The things he got caught for and was saying was despicable, but the way that you guys handled it and coming up with the plan, right, to lay the jerseys down. What was that moment like?
It was crazy because the moment was going to be totally different. You know, I'm just a little rookie at the time, or second year guy at the time, so I'm going through it. I'm like, yeah, like, we about to mob. Like, in the background, hey, we do whatever, fool. Like, but Steph, CP, D. Lee, Matt, DeAndre, they all kind of making these decisions and like relaying them to the groups. Like, they come together. And so it happens, and we play that night. It comes out the day morning. We play that night. And so they back and forth. CP, the president of the Players Association, they back and forth on the phone with Adam. This is Adam's first year as commissioner of the NBA. This is Adam's first real big decision. Damn. So when I always say Adam Silver is the best commissioner in this world, you have to understand, I also have the history with him of his first big decision. Wow. I was on the front lines. His first big decision was what to do with Donald Sterling. And Adam, they tell Adam, they like, yo, he got a press conference at 6. If he don't say what if we don't like what he say in this press conference, we ain't playing. We're gonna walk out there for the jump ball on national TV so they cannot pivot. We're gonna shake hands and walk off the court. So he better come strong. If he don't come strong, and they told Adam, you better come strong or we ain't playing. Adam announced lifetime ban, must sell the team. He was like, well, I guess we playing. There's nothing, like there's no stiffer penalty than what his first, Adam Silver's gangster, man. His first big decision was, you're out of the league, you must sell the team. That was the first big decision he had to make
right
as
in on that.
commissioner of the NBA.
Wow.
Was to tell an NBA owner,
You're done.
it's over for you.
Wow.
You out of here. That was crazy. But yeah, we were going to shake hands, let the game start, so the TV is on, cameras are rolling, and we was going to walk off the court.
That's crazy. And I didn't even realize that was Adam's first year. And, you know, coincidentally, that what's crazy is the first 3 championships, I sat like right next to him. We became seat buddies at the game, you know what I mean? To where he looked for me. Like that was kind of a great experience, and which brings me to, you know, that phase and that time period where we already talking about, like, I was always a proud fan of all our teams in Oakland, but to see the Golden State Warriors be what they were, like, you know what I'm saying? I was able to, I saw Chris Washburn never play, first round draft pick. We saw C. Webb here. We saw Spreewell. We saw just all of these players come and go, you know what I'm saying? And none of the teams were just great. You know, we had competitive spurts, but to see you guys come as this young group of guys and just revolutionize the whole NBA, it was crazy. Today, when I watch teams, all teams, I say, damn, my squad made these dudes play like this.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Every
like
level too.
It's crazy. And when we talk about GOATs and we talk about, like, because Steph Curry's forever GOATed, and when we talk about GOATs, it's like people that changed the game, right? When we talk about Magic Johnson with the no looks, with the fancy passes, when we talk about Michael Jordan, you know, playing above the rim, and we talk about Steph Curry, like shooting the shots that normally got you benched.
Absolutely.
You know, when you're young, you walk in the gym like that.
Bad shots for anybody else.
Sit your ass down.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And now people taking those shots. People taking these shots on fast break. As great as a shooter as Reggie Miller was and Ray Allen, they never shot the ball like that.
Absolutely.
I think that's when you start separating. When you mentioned GOATs, I think that's when you start separating the GOATs from, like, generational type talents. And I think when you start to look at the Steph Currys and people like that, who revolutionized the game evolved once they're doing things that, I mean, what's the chances of us seeing another guy? And then, too, they like to pigeonhole Steph, too. And they try to make him a three-point specialist. But he can get to the basket like
He does everything.
Like the best of them. You know what I'm saying?
And I also was thinking earlier when we talked about that, speaking of that, because it speaks to your greatness also, right? And not to take nothing away from Steph Curry, but you only get one Draymond Green. You only get one Klay Thompson, right? You know, it's like the stats that they show. This is where analytics. This is where when I like analytics, when they show the efficiency of Steph when he's on the floor with you, or what the difference is. That's when I like analytics. That's when it works. It's like, okay, we can see what's going on when he passes him the ball here. How did you guys develop such a chemistry that you almost throw the ball ahead. Like it's almost I'm throwing it to this spot, and even if they study film and they try to come defend this, it's still not the same pass every time. It looks like it, but it's like almost a telepathy that's going on.
For sure, it's a concept. It's an eye contact. It's they guarding you this way. I'm gonna get you the ball like this, like,
Without even talking.
nah, for sure. And there are some times where we'll talk like, yo, I'm seeing this. What you seeing? I'm seeing this. All right, so let's do this. I think we should do it this way. All right, better. We'll do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely communication, but there is also a telepathy. Like there is I can just look at him, and he'll be like, I know what this means. Like, all right, whatever situation he's in, I can now read that situation and be like, oh, this is what he mean. You see what I'm saying? Oh, they guarding him like this. He did this. Okay, he telling me to throw this pass this way. He just letting me know that he's creating an opening this way. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. It ain't going to be the same pass every time. For instance, tonight, Toronto was guarding them. They just sitting on the top side. I see him just working his way up the court. He's just working his way up the court. I know what he's thinking. He looking for a back door. So let me go position myself to hit him for this back door. All right, boom. I'm going right here. As soon as I catch, bow, lay it. I see him already setting this guy up for it. So there is a telepathy, but, man, it's a lot of trial and error. We had a lot of times where we would flip that motherfucker like hotcakes, trying shit. But we trying shit. Like, and you like, oh, man, that worked. Like, we going to try this again.
Right.
And then for me, they became such great shooters, the two greatest shooters we've ever seen, that the way teams started to guard them, I still want to get them the ball. Because all they need, and when I say they, I'm Steph and Clay, all they need is a hair, a split second. If you are a split second late, the shot's gone, you're too late. And it is gone more accurate in that split second than if you took 5 seconds to line it up. The one they just shot in that split second is 10 times more accurate than if you stood here like this. It's more accurate. That's how they shoot that ball. And so the way teams would guard them, what I realized as a passer is I got to put it there early. Because if I wait till he pops open, it's like a receiver. Cornerbacks are so good that if you wait till that receiver's open to throw that ball, the cornerback has closing speed.
Right.
You wait till he open to throw that ball, see if he open. By the time the ball get there, the cornerback's in front. He going the other way.
Exactly.
And so like that with them, they start shooting the ball. They became known as such great shooters, which they are, that the way teams started to defend them, if I didn't throw the ball early, it's a steal. Because they got the big all the way up at the level of the screen. And I can wait and get the slip late, but we ain't trying to get a slip every time. We want the ball to go to Steph, Clay, KD, when KD came, but Steph and Clay in particular. So I'm going to throw it early. Soon as he come off that screen, it'll be right in his stomach.
Yeah.
He better come off hands ready.
Right.
But at worst, it's going to hit him right here, and he'll get it and go. But then they learn. Okay, as soon as I come off, I can come off firing because the ball is going to be right there. As soon as I see them getting ready, they get to a certain level of the screen, the ball gone. I know where they're going. The ball on the way there too. So when they get there, the ball will get there at the same time, and you're a split second late. That's all we need. Oh, now you thought you can run up, pocket pass, dunk, right? And so it was a lot of trial and error, but it was also the way teams were defending them that I knew I still need to get these guys the ball. They're the greatest shooters ever. But I got to throw it a little earlier or else they're gonna close it up.
Yeah.
Because they don't want them to catch it.
Right.
Teams don't worry about how to guard Steph Curry no more. What? They just try not to let him get the ball. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
They don't want this man to bring the ball up full court. They're not like, yo, our game plan is when he get it and do this, is that. if you can see, sometimes when he get the ball, it looked like there's no defense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a game plan. Their game plan, everything was to stop him from getting the ball.
Getting the ball, deny.
You don't have enough time to go through stop him from getting the ball in the regular season game, stop him from getting the ball, and then what to do when he. You don't have enough time to game plan all that.
Yeah.
So their game plan is to not let him get the ball. So guess what? I have to anticipate, throw it early to where he's gonna go, so that he can still get the ball. Because their whole game plan is built to just not let him catch the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Not dribble, not come off a screen, not let him get the ball.
That's crazy.
Because he in the gym.
That's crazy.
And if he in the gym, he in range.
Yeah.
I don't care where he at in the gym, he in range. So they try not to let him get the ball, so I just throw it early.
We feeling revitalized. It's a new energy in the building, right? 15 out of the last, 17, whatever.
16
Shit's
out of
crazy.
18. Just
We
so
doing-
y'all
we
know,
doing well.
it's 3:14 in the morning after the Raptors game, and if y'all think Brownie is getting tired, he be sleepy.
I'm not tired at all.
Me and Rab still over here going, but if you think Brownie's energy's changed a little bit, it is
Is
now
that
3:15 in the morning, and Brownie's tired.
My energy is still
you
up.
still up?
He's sleepy. He
But
just
let-
how he be. Remember, he
hold
talked
on.
about drinking me on the
But let's talk about the energy of the building. You had a bold prediction. It's
bold prediction?
We winning the
Is
championship.
that bold? I got 4 championships.
Okay.
What's
Not at
so
this
bold
point.
about that?
Some people will say it's a bold prediction, right? But
They
even
only
if
say it's bold. You know why they say it's bold?
What's that?
Because they don't know what winning a championship looks
Looks
like.
like.
They don't know what winning a championship feels like.
so, that brings me to my next question, because you said that. Is there a particular team or year or championship year that this team actually reminds you of? Or does it just resemble winning? You just know what winning looks like. Is there something that this reminds you of?
I just know what it looks like. Because this team right here doesn't really remind me of any team that we had.
Okay.
And the reason being is no other team we had Jimmy Butler.
Right.
So most people would probably say, man, I think this is like the 2022 team. But there was no Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is number one option in the NBA.
Right.
We had that back in the day. But this team also not those teams either. Like those teams were the greatest teams to ever play basketball.
Right.
My opinion. So this team ain't that team either.
Right.
But this team ain't 2022 because we got Jimmy Butler.
Right.
So it just changes everything.
Right.
You got another number one option. And so, but due to those years, I know what it feels like. I know what it looks like. And especially 2022, that's when I'll say I really learned what it looked like and feel like. Because, again, 2015, we didn't know what we were doing. Only person knew what they were doing was Steve. We didn't have a clue what the hell we were doing. This dude's like walking us through like, oh, yeah, man, it's the finals now. This is going to be like this, and it's going to be weird. Practices will be this way. Very weird. Adjust your family. This will get like this dude's telling us all. We didn't have a clue what the hell was going on.
Right.
He's telling us everything. 2017, 2018, we knew we was winning. Like, should have won in 19. Unfortunately, everybody, Clay and K got hurt. But we knew we were winning. It was just a matter of the date getting there on the schedule
Right.
for us to win. 2022, Danny, I'm telling Danny, this is the first year F1 in Miami. It's like Cinco de Mayo weekend or somewhere right in there in May or.
Right.
I'm like, Danny, I'll see y'all at F1 because we stink. We're going to lose. We won't make it out of the first round. So I'll see y'all at F1 for sure.
Right.
I called Danny back after the first game. I said, Danny, I don't think I'm going to make it to F1. We're going to win the championship. After the first game of the playoffs, we played one game, and I called him back Danny's one of my best friends in the world. I call him back after game 1 of series number 1, round 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Danny, I don't think I'm going to make it to F1 Miami. But everybody was also going to F1 Monaco. All the boy homies. I also don't think I'm going to make it to F1 Monaco either.
Right.
Danny, I think we're going to win a championship. He said, what? Dude, you just told me I was going to lose in the first round yesterday. I said, I know. But we just played a game. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, that year I had been hurt. That's the year I hurt my back. Mm-hmm. If you remember correctly, the game I got back, Steph got hurt.
Right.
Yep.
Got back against the Celtics, Steph got hurt. Steph missed the rest of the season and come back for the playoffs. So the first game, me, Steph, and Clay play together again in full is game 1.
Mm-hmm.
I called Danny right after the game. I said, Danny, I'm sorry. I think we're going to win the championship. Mm-hmm. I know, and that's when I learned really what it looked and feel
like. Wow.
And so when I made my statement over All-Star Weekend on TNT, I wasn't being bold. Mm-hmm. I just know what it look and feel like. Right. And I wholeheartedly believe that this feels like that. Right. And it looks like that. So it wasn't like to make some hot statement or controversial. If I was talking to anybody more than anything, I was talking to my teammates.
Right.
Just so y'all know what type of time I'm coming back on, what type of time we coming back on. This is what what I think.
Right.
This is what's happening. So if I was alerting anybody, I was talking to my teammates more than anyone.
Yeah.
I feel like Chase Center get a bad reputation, but I feel like it's been a different energy in the building watching the games of late. I think it started with that Sacramento game. I feel like the crowd has been on their feet. It's been loud in the building. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping we can keep that up. I ain't gonna give them Oracle yet, but it's been loud. You know what I mean?
It has been louder.
It's been
for
loud.
Sure.
It's been loud.
Speaking of Oracle, some more history is the rivalries. You know, like I'm a culture junkie, and I love old shit. I love going back. You know, I grew up going back watching old games and shit. Like, you know, so all the Bulls games, you know, all the championship Bulls runs, the Lakers runs, the Celtics runs, and this rivalry with Cleveland, right? What it became something super special, like super special. I remember being like third row and watching Kyrie hit that shot. I can remember the feeling of my heart just dropping in my. I've never felt like that over sports ever. Like that shit was like I was heartbroken, right? And so I don't know if I felt right for like 2 days, but just that experience was so great. Did you and LeBron have the same relationship before the championships that you have now?
Hell no. I hated LeBron. We ain't had no relationship at all. I had a relationship with Mav and Rich. I was really tight with both of them. And Bron used to ask them, like, why y'all would, like, in 2017, 2017, All-Star was in New Orleans. Bron had a plane going to Anguilla, and Mav, Rich, everybody was going. I hadn't decided where I was going after that All-Star game, so earlier that day I asked Mav, like, Mav, where you going? Like, what you doing after? He like, we going to Anguilla. Like, can I go? It's like, yeah, you can go. I'm like, you sure? Like, yeah, let me make sure there's space on the plane. I don't know if there was no space on the plane or not, but I think Bron probably said that nigga ain't flying on my plane. Matt gets an entirely different plane. So I can fly with them. I don't think we had 2 houses on 4 seasons right next to each other. I also don't think there was 2 houses before.
Like we need another one.
Whole other house. You know why I think I've got a whole other house? Because I think Bron said, that nigga not staying in my house.
0 chance.
Nonetheless, There was, but there was always respect. But there was, and Bron used to be like, yo, why y'all deal with this dude, man? Like,
Right.
and they used to say to him, like, no, you should get to know him. Like, yo, why y'all do? And so just me being around Rich and Mav, me and Bron naturally ended up being around each other more because I'm tight with Rich and Mav. And then we started to build a relationship because I realized, like, dang, bro really just like me.
Yeah.
He used the same lingo I use.
Right.
On a different level, but obviously like me.
Right.
Like,
Right.
he's from a place just like me. Wow. And we started to build from there. And so that's kind of how our relationship grew. You know what I'm saying? But it started off hectic. Like, when I tried to hit him in the finals and I got spin, we was beef. Like,
Right. That felt real.
I really tried to hit him.
What do you say to fans who just can't wrap their head around
Nothing.
athletes having relationships away from? You obviously gonna go at them on the court. You're gonna take care of business on the court, but they can't wrap their head around people hanging out outside of basketball.
They can't. They really can't wrap their head around me and Brown relationship. They hate it.
It's insane.
I get called gay. I get called a dick rider. Like the things that I get called, the names that I get called about me and Bron's relationship. I didn't even know you could still say those things to people. Like, I thought you get in trouble in this world for like saying those things to people. Like the things that I am called, because that's my brother, are insane.
Right.
Nonetheless, what do you say to those people? Nothing. Because if they have time to analyze and worry about your relationship with someone else, they clearly don't have a life. And so, in turn, I feel much worse for them about the fact that they don't have a life than they feel the need to call me a name because I built a brotherhood with a guy that I played basketball against that'll go far beyond him playing, his old ass playing basketball, or my young ass playing basketball. It'll go far beyond that. If that's what you're sitting in your home, or your mother's home, or your father's home, or your friend's home, or the house that you share with your roommate, if that's what you sit in that hole and do, I feel way more sorry for you than me worried about myself and how you feel about me, because there's clearly something going on in your life,
Right.
or lack thereof, for you to be worried that someone is friends with someone else. So I actually don't care. And I also don't care that something's going on in your life that you feel the need to worry about that. That also ain't my business. Just like whoever has a relationship with whoever else ain't theirs.
Right.
I think the hate genuinely that both of you guys receive for different reasons, right? LeBron is, of course, an amazing player, but he receives a lot of hate for whatever reason.
It's just misguided love. Like they don't know how to show their love, and the hate that they show is just misguided love. Like they don't know how to say, wow, I love you. Or they want to be like you, and so they don't know how to say like, oh man, like I respect that. Because the problem is, in the day and age we live in, there's not enough self-confidence. And so in turn, people don't feel confident enough to say, I like that, or I respect that, or that's fire.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that's dope to me. People don't feel confident enough anymore to say that. So in turn, they hate.
Real shit only. Let me talk to these niggas, Zeke. Somebody got said. Shit. You niggas run the IG for inspiration. Cause your immediate circle ain't good for shit but hating. How you hustling just to get complacent?